I feel like the way that we are using lingua franca, because we've had this discussion one time on our Cantonese podcast where I quoted someone saying, the greatest threat is not English. The greatest threat is monolingualism. As in, like, the idea that you could, or you should be able to traverse the world with just one language, and people should, like, inherently speak the certain language. Because at some point in history, for example, if you look at Taiwan, it's the same thing as well. Now Taiwan's lingua franca is Mandarin. It's not English, so it's not English that's at fault. But 1-2 centuries ago, every group would learn the other group's languages, and that was a natural thing to do, and still is in many multilingual countries. But once one language became the default, everything else quickly dies. So it is the attitude of monolingualism, like the attitude that I should be able to use this language and do anything I want. I should not have to learn a different language. I think that is the main thing, rather than just any language being a lingua franca. I used to think it was an American problem, but it's a monolingualism problem. Yeah. And I'm not saying like monolingual people, especially if it's like, because monolingualism has a lot of factors. Sometimes it's like people who are deprived and don't have any opportunities to learn another language, or like maybe some really remote places. But like at the same time, even if certain deprived countries, they actually tend to be more multilingual because people just have to learn the other languages to get by. But like this, it's not like monolingualism as a whole, but like this attitude that I shouldn't have to learn another language. That is the main problem here. I tell people this all the time. Weird people don't get it. Plus, the more languages you know, the more doors and opportunities open. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not for me. I'm just doing this for the fun of it, like, and for personal reasons. The reason that this is also a response to that hate comment, that slightly racist comment that we just saw in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish because I don't know. I don't feel like it. Like it does not speak to me. So I didn't learn it. It's that simple. I don't choose languages based on opportunities. If I just so happen to gain opportunities, then great. Like I've had the privilege of working in Polish for a little bit, and I recently worked in Welsh for a little bit as well, and that is because of my passion for these languages and the cultures behind them. And I honestly, if I wanted to like look for jobs in different languages, I would not have gone for these languages, obviously. You always go for like, I don't know, French or Spanish or whatever. But for me, it's not about that. And that if someone does that instead, it's also fine. I know the like majority of people learn languages for more opportunities, English included. And I got nothing against that. But for me, at this point, now that I can use English pretty comfortably, I'm not traveling to a certain place where I have to learn the language, so I'm doing it just like out of interest and like personal reasons. I live in a very monolingual place. Pray tell, I'm all ears. Tell me more about it. Like how do people there feel about languages? Because I want to know. It's good to be passionate about languages, but you sometimes get unexpected opportunities along the way. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not learning a certain language for the opportunities. I mean, if someone comes and gives me a job and says, "Oh, learn this language before you can get the job," then yeah, sure, I'll do that. That most likely that will not be very difficult, I think, at this point, as an experienced language learner. But I really doubt that's going to happen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, I do enjoy it when I like stumble upon certain opportunities because of my languages. Like the easy Polish thing, that was completely out of the blue. Like it was step by step. I met them, and then we got along, and then they just happened to be planning the Easy Polish podcast, and then I just happened to have experience making podcasts, and then I was like, I can do it for you, and then it just happened. So yeah, I like it. I like it when things like this, when the opportunities like these show up. But Northeast France, surrounded by French. Yeah, that is fair. Like France is also a very monolingual, relatively monolingual place. Yeah, I wonder, like, do they expect people to speak their language, especially when they go abroad? Because France is not, ironically, France is not the lingua franca anymore. So like they I guess they just don't go abroad when, maybe. That, have I told you this story about this one time I looked up things related to like airports and like air travel in Polish just out of curiosity, and then there was a page that gave Polish people advice on traveling abroad, and then there was one point that said, oh, if you travel abroad, most likely you will have to learn a foreign language. I was like, wait, do I have to learn the local language every time? Like, I would love to. Like, do I have to? And then I realized it's referring to like English. They're saying you need to learn English. I forgot that the target audience is not Anglophones. They were writing it for Polish people, and they were meaning, yeah, you probably have to learn a language other than Polish. And then I just took it to mean you need to learn the local language, which is what my friends do. They pick up the local language.